I am the famous American. I often make videos about DNA test results, ethnicity, race, background, that sort of thing. And I've been made aware this week, thanks to all the comments coming through on a certain video I made talking about DNA test results, when you find out that your biological father is not who you thought it was. So I'm getting a lot more traffic on that video, which I made a while back, but it's a very fascinating topic and I want to talk about it more. Thanks to those comments, I'm now making new observations from and studying the generalizations of people who are leaving those comments. So here's something I'm running into. I'm running into people who are in their 50s or 60s. And thanks to DNA tests, they found out that their biological father is not who they thought it was. It wasn't their dad. It wasn't their mom's husband. There was somebody else. Their mother cheated on the husband. And the siblings that they grew up with are actually their half siblings. And then they also have half siblings outside of the family because their biological father was never, quote, their dad that raised them. The video I made that I published right before this talks about the fact that there are women who by default would be what, in their 60s, 70s, 80s, the mothers of these now adult children who have kept it a lie the whole time and are now basically have invested so much into that lie that they won't admit to their adult child that they have a different father than they led them to believe, that their dad was not their father, is how I like to phrase it. So as a sequel, as a follow-up to that previous video, what I really want to point out is, if you're one of those people, say you're in your 50s or 60s, and you have a mother who's, a couple of decades older than you, I mean, you're a senior citizen by default, depending on how you look at it. But it's not people in their 20s, 30s, and 40s leaving these comments saying, I just found out my dad's not my dad. It's people in their 50s and 60s. That's part of the phenomenon with this that I'm seeing show up. So I'm imagining the psychological issues you're sorting out right now, especially if your mother's still alive and she's lying to you about that. And you know that you've got half siblings that you didn't know about, and your actual siblings that you grew up with were only your half siblings too. And your mother's lying about it. Or your mother got away with it. She went to her grave with that secret. And now you found out, but she's gone. I want to make a video to address this, the importance of forgiveness. I mean, that's step one. Yes, I know shock is probably the mode you're in right now, but forgiveness is the key. Forgiveness is the thing that's going to help you progress. Because what happened was very unfortunate. It's very sad. It's a very broken thing that happened, that you're more not, it's less about the fact that your mother cheated on her husband and led you to believe that your father was someone who it wasn't. It's less about the adultery. It is more about the lie, isn't it, at this point? It's more about the lie. Because now that lie, whether your mother passed away or not, whether she's still alive or not, that's probably where the hurt is. The lie hurts more than the adultery. But I'm telling you, step number one is to forgive. Immediately forgive. Because when you need to forgive someone and don't, or let someone has an offense against you, and you don't forgive them, but yet you're angry, here's what it's like. It's like drinking some kind of potion, tonic, liquid, whatever you want to drink in this scenario. You drink this and you're wanting them to suffer. When you don't forgive someone, that's what you're doing. But when you forgive someone, you say, I relieve you of that. I would like to talk about this more, and I hope that we can. I want to understand the truth more, but I do forgive you and I do love you. That's step number one. Again, this is about the psychology of people in their 50s and 60s just now finding out that their biological father was not who they thought it was. They have a mother who committed adultery, yes. They broke the 10 Commandments, yes. But it's the other 10th commandment that they broke that hurts even worse now. And that's that they're lying about it. And you're having to sort that out. And unfortunately, the pressure's on you to forgive them before anything can get better in any sense. you have to be able to forgive them. Perhaps forgiving them openly. Not even asking them, will you just tell me the truth about who my dad really is? Will you just admit that you cheated on my dad? Perhaps the place to start is to say, I know my dad that raised me wasn't my biological father. The DNA test proved that. I know that. I want you to know I forgive you for that. And if you're willing to talk to me more about it, I'd like to know the truth. That's what I suggest. Tell me how that goes in the comments right here.